it takes me a second to realize that the M stands for Monsieur. Even though his mission was just your garden-variety 19th century scientific expedition, at dinner with friends I often joke that my great-great-grandfather was a vaquero of international repute. Vaquero is not a euphemism. It's how I refer to the looters who to this day remove cultural and artistic properties from archaeological sites. Vaqueros can range from cultured gentlemen to mercenaries, and these ancient treasures can end up in European museums or the sitting rooms of their elegant criollo houses in Lima. The term vaquero, meaning grave robber in Spanish, comes from huaca in Quechua. This is what people in the Andes call their sacred places, most of which are now archaeological sites or ruins. Community leaders and their funerary offerings are buried in catacombs at these sites. Vaqueros systematically invade them in search of tombs and priceless objects, and their incompetence is so great that they leave the sites a complete mess. These violations affect the reliability of subsequent research, making it impossible to reconstruct the past out of traces of identity and cultural memory. Which is why to vaquear is a form of violence. It turns fragments of history into private property that accessorizes and dresses up the ego. Like art thieves, vaqueros are the heroes of Hollywood movies. There's a touch of glamour to their mischief. Wiener himself has gone down in history not only as a scholar, but as the author of this collection, erasing its real, anonymous provenance with science as his alibi and the financial backing of an imperialist government. Back then, you just had to move some dirt around to call it archaeology. I wander the aisles of the Wiener collection among display cases crowded with ceramics. One catches my eye because it is empty. The label reads, Momie d'enfant. But there's no trace of a mummy inside. Something about this blank space is jarring. The fact that it's a tomb. The tomb of an unidentified child. The fact that it's empty. The fact that this tomb, which has been opened, reopened, and desecrated 1,000 times, is part of an exhibit that tells the tale of one civilization's triumph over another. Does denying a child their eternal slumber tell such a tale? I wonder if the museum took the mummy out to restore it the way paintings are restored, then left the case empty as a nod to the avant-garde. Or if the blank space is a permanent indictment of the mummy's disappearance, like the time a Vermeer was stolen from a museum in Boston and its empty frame left on the wall so it wouldn't be forgotten. I consider the theft, the move, the repatriation. Maybe if I wasn't from a continent of forced disappearances, where people are not only exhumed but buried in secret, the invisible body behind the glass wouldn't speak to me. But something inside me keeps pushing ahead. Maybe it's because the label says that the missing mummy was from Chancay, on the central coast of Peru, from the department of Lima where I was born. My head wanders between imaginary graves, small, shallow holes in unreality. I thrust in my shovel and clear out the dust. This time, my Incan profile mixes with nothing, and for a few seconds, my ghostly reflection is the only thing in the glass. My shadow is trapped in the case, embalmed and exposed, blurring the line between reality and photo montage. It stands in for the mummy, restores it, offering up a new stage on which to interpret death. My shadow, bathed and perfumed, organs scooped out, ageless, like a see-through piñata filled with myrrh. Nothing the wild dogs of the desert could eat up or destroy. Museums are not cemeteries, though they look a lot alike. The Wiener exhibit says nothing about how the missing child died, whether by human sacrifice, murder, or natural causes.